people, welcome to the Viking Weekly Warmup. Hey, welcome to the Viking Weekly Warmup. I'm your bad driving, hard riding brother Vikes, and with me is the old boy CB from Minnesota. What do you say, CB?
I'm howling for everybody, all my fans out there, all the Viking fans. Go Vikes!
I know we got a lot of Viking fans. I didn't know you had a lot of fans too. You got groupies, huh? CB groupies, baby.
No, they're not my fans. They're just Vike groupies.
There
like
it
me.
is. There it is. We love all Viking groupies. That's our thing. It's Christmas, dude. What up? Bit dat.
Christmas! Yeah!
I know you're. I'm looking at Chris in the we're on Skype, right? The Skype thing, and I can see Chris, and he's had a couple of days. Finally, he's had a couple of days off because he works in retail, and it's horrible because people treat retail people like shit. So, Chris, tell us something.
It is so terrible, you guys. All you got to do is just smile once or twice at the people giving you service at your retails, at your stores, because God, it is fucking horrific out there right now. So it's like a post-apocalyptic nightmare where you just have people running through the aisles and slashing each other's throats, trying to get at a couple of Tickle Me Elmos or whatever the hell it is.
Good God. I know you look like you've been worked, dude. You look like you stole Weird Al Yankovic's haircut, you know?
It's terrible, and it shows. It shows in me. I've had a nervous breakdown the last 2 days, so now I'm finally regaining some of my sanity so I can go back to work and do it all again. God damn it.
Well, listen, Merry Christmas. You know what? I'm working next week, but my kids are off and they're around the house. So, I don't need a fancy surround sound system. My kids got that shit covered, right?
Your kids are everywhere, dude.
They are everywhere in everything. And, along that line, so since it's Christmas, there's 5 questions that I came up with that I'd just like to ask every fucking buddy about Christmas, okay? Bake's big 5 questions as we near Christmas.
I haven't heard any of these, so I'm really excited about hearing these.
That's right. You were not preloaded, as I usually am before each show. Okay, Bake's big 5 questions. Here we go. Ready? Number 1. What flavor of vape oil do you leave out for Santa this year, right? Because vape's the new thing.
Yeah, you got a vape. Even Santa vapes.
All right, well, write that one in because I don't think Chris knows. All right, number 2, big 5 question as we near Christmas. What is it with eggnog? Damn, man, it's thick. It goes down like Pepto-Bismol. You know what? Wait, I got it. Eggnog is great because who hasn't been eating an omelet and thought to themselves, gee, I wish I could drink this. Freaking eggnog.
And I don't even know what a nog is. What do you have to do to nog something?
Exactly. I got the front part. You know what an egg is, right?
Yeah, but what's a nog? Do you have to do something special to the egg to nog it?
I don't know, man. Eggnog is basically alcoholic pancake batter, right?
Gross!
All right, number 3, Bake's big 5 question. What is it with the damn carolers who have to come out in packs and sing Silent Night? You know what I mean? Every year I'm out there yelling at them, yes, it was a silent night. That's before you fuckers got here.
They fucked up your silent night, and it was a perfectly fine silent night, and then they had to come tell you that it was silent.
That's what I'm saying. And that should be the words. It was a silent night, right? No. All right. Anyway. All right. Number 4, Bake's big 5 question as we near Christmas. So this one has to do with the whole story of Christmas. So the wise men, they all brought gifts to the baby Jesus. And
right.
What is it with the frankincense, man?
Well, I don't even know what a frankincense is.
Frankincense is like incense. It's incense. That's it. Literally, dude just brought incense. I bet the frankincense guy he was the one that's in the group, and he's like, okay, look, let's all just put these 3 items in one gift basket, and then the basket can be from all of us.
Yeah, maybe it was the interior designer wise man that said, "All right, here's some incense. Come on, everybody, sniff it."
Crappy gift giver. All right, last one. The number 5, Bake's Big 5 question, Christmas movie. So this time of the year, my DTV queue gets all filled up, right? Every time I turn around, there's these Christmas movies popping up with people recording them. It's like crack to my kids. They got to record it every time they see a Christmas movie. They see one and they just got to press record. Now, right. Don't we all wish that there was a Christmas movie which some sort of like crazy chaos happened to an unsuspecting family?
What did you have in mind?
Like every freaking Christmas movie that they record. When does it get old, man? Cripes. God. All right, that's it for the Bake's Big 5. You know, Christmas is near. The kids are crazy. You got presents everywhere, dude. Man, wrapping, right? I hate wrapping. You can tell the presents that I wrap because they're the ones that look like they were wrapped by Stephen Hawking. You know what I mean?
Hey, gift bags all the way. That's all I do. I put stuff in a bag, I put a little sticker on it, and I'm done. That's it.
Schmott. You're a schmott, man. Let's talk about the Dolphins. All right?
Yeah, the dolts. The
dolts. So the week before the Vikings actually played the Fishies, the Dolphins' defense was solid against a Patriots team. In fact, they beat the Patriots, but Kirk Cousins shredded them in Minneapolis, leading an offense that had freshly fired our offensive coordinator, if you could call him that at the time when he had the job. I think
we had to call him that when he was here, but we're not going to call him that anymore because he was lame.
Right. We'll call Stefanski the offensive coordinator because that's what he is. And I think we really got to see how much more talented our Vikings roster is as opposed to the Patriots who have, Tom Brady.
And that's it. They all have Tom Brady, and that's it.
Let's be honest. It's one thing to ask a rookie defensive back, Fitzpatrick, to cover like a Julian Edelman. It's a very different ball game to send him out there and say, "Oh, there's Adam Thielen or Stephon Diggs. Go get him." They raped him. It was horrible. Or the running backs, man. The Vikings showed we have a fat RB tandem on Sunday. We've been calling here on the Viking Warmup. We've been calling for more run and more tandem all year, and Kevin let it go. A whopping 70% of the rushing yards came before contact. That's 149 rushing yards before Cook, Murray, or Diggs were ever even touched by a defender, dude.
That is absolutely amazing and far higher than most of the teams that we see in the NFL.
That's right. And Cook rushed for 136 yards alone. It was his career high.
And guess what? It earned him the honor of the NFC Player of the Week.
That's right. That's right, dude. Good one. Slamola. I had forgotten that one.
Yeah, he killed it. 136 yards. Fantastic run. A lot of great spinola moves that we love to see. He looked a little like Barry Sanders, a little like he was really, really running like he was running with his head up.
Yeah, some of those moves, I guess you could say, were Sanders-esque. All right, swap it over and talk about the offense. The Dolphins' OL was given the task of protecting Tannehill when he dropped back and making holes for Frank Gore in New England, and they did really well at that. But you turn the page a week later against the Vikings defense, and we sacked his ass 9 times. And other than Gore getting hurt and then Blanche taking over and breaking off the 75-yard score, our run did really well. I mean, he had only 123 yards on the 12 carries total.
Right, and if you look at that, the one run that he had, which was the 73 yards, something like that.
Yeah.
It was a stunt. It was a blitz that we had, and they ran perfectly to the opposite side that we were blitzing. Harrison Smith was coming off the defensive right-hand side. They ran to the other side, and he made a guy miss, and it was just – I think that was bad luck more than anything else.
Zimmer even took that over in the presser. He even owned that piece, actually. The keys to making the win happen here this weekend were really just to simplify everything. Kevin Stefanski made a great debut, and everything in his debut was built on that simplification. It was impressive given he had a really short week to do this. But that's the only way you go about it, right? If you have a short week and we're talking 600 freaking plays, what are you going to do? Zimmer said in a presser afterwards, that we had run like one play 10 times, but with 10 different variations. You format it differently and you get them in different looks so they can't key on one thing, but you're basically running the same play.
Yeah, DiFilippo was trying to pick which of the 600 plays that he wanted to run, and he wasn't really. I don't think he was really looking at the greater scope of the game and how when things are working, you can flip it a little bit and go back to it and make it work throughout the game.
Yeah, and we were lucky, too. I mean, this was a great one because the Dolphins had the 31st ranked defense, and that was just what the doctor ordered to get our sagging run game off the tarmac. We churned out a season-high 220 yards, man. It was effective. It was supremely executed. It was designed really well. I mean, it was great to watch, and I've watched it a couple of times. They had simple inside zone run, and then they swap RBs. They do another inside zone run, and then they follow that up with an outside zone stretch left or outside zone stretch right, and they mix up the RBs. They give them both the rock. They keep them both hot all the time. You know, we've been yelling for this all year, man.
Yeah, from week one, we here at Viking Warmup have been just jonesing for more run. And I think a lot of the fans got in their own way, and once the pass started working, Cousins was looking good, Thielen was looking good. Then they got the film on it, and defenses started to stop it a little bit, and everybody got up in arms. And you and I were the whole season have been saying, more run, more run, more run.
I know it. And we even took a little shit here and there. There was some comments we got from people like, well, if the run's not working, you just don't do it. Well, I get that. I get it. If you're talking about one play. You know, but you're talking about 300 run plays. You know, we were talking about refine what you're doing then. Figure out how to run the ball, but you have to run the ball. Anyway, so we did. One of the biggest adjustments under Stefanski was to get Cousins on the move and away from the pass rush. This is also something, the rollout we've been talking about. His first 3 passes came from play action, which was, he was like 6 of 7 and 103 yards on those. Bootlegs, rollouts, moving the pocket. The Vikings didn't have to have our protection, you know, tested that much because we were moving around.
Absolutely. And one of the things that Zim said in the presser too was they got back to the play action more. And that's something that he wanted to see, was to go back to that play action a little bit more.
Yeah, Elfline and Mike Remmers had strong rebound games on this one, starting with Remmers blocking the Dolphins' Fitzpatrick again, which was the play that sprung Cook for the 27-yard screen. The right side of the line was particularly impressive, and that was Cook got an 11-yard run on the very next drive following that. Right.
And I think overall for the offensive line, they came together really well and had a really nice cohesive game. What the purpose or what the reasoning is behind that, we're not quite sure. If they wanted to play for Stefanski, it doesn't really matter. That's something that they needed to see and that they needed to do this week, was have a great week and have a great game and show that they can push that they can push the run and they can make that happen. And you saw it in that right side of that offensive line. You saw it on that touchdown run from Dalvin Cook. Did a little spinorama move, and made it work.
Spinorama. I think you've patented Spinorama. All right. Also, we were looking at timing. So this is something also I've been complaining about more probably online when we're talking in communications than anything else. The Vikings utilize timing better than they did with DiFilippo, or we have been since he's been in. The 13-yard pass to Diggs in the corner on the opening drive came in a flash because Cousins snapped the ball. There's 20 seconds left on the play clock. It wasn't no huddle, but it was a sneaky use of up-tempo timing, and it helped catch those defenders out of position, and they were thinking too much, so they couldn't defend the play action. So it worked. Part of play action isn't just doing a play action, but you're also got to be thinking about that timing all the time. Cousins picked up the pace on a lot of plays. There was many other big plays. The big 40-yard touchdown to Aldrick Robinson, the ball was snapped. There was like 12 seconds left on the clock. But it happened, the whole thing happened in like 3 or 4 seconds after they broke the huddle and aligned up.
Exactly. And I think when you were looking at DiFilippo, when he was running the offense, it was consistently, we were at 3 or 4 seconds on the play clock all the time, and the defense could really pin back on that and really know kind of when we were going to do what we were going to do. This is something that I want to see Kirk Cousins take a little bit more ownership of and be able to call at the line and how he sees fit, because he's in the game. He can feel the rhythm of the game and how it's moving and how it's flowing. He also knows what those defensive alignments are and what they look like and where he can win on a certain play if he takes advantage of that quicker pace.
Right. Vikings offense went 5 for 5 on short yardage plays against the Dolphins. That included a couple of pair of 2 and 1 quarterback sneaks and 3 successful third downs. Back-to-back runs fed into the play call at the end of the third quarter when Cousins faked a handoff on third down and threw the ball to Conklin, who was wide open. Stefanski's play call got the most praise by the Viking guys because that was 3rd and 1. We'd all lined up and we'd done the Kirk runs it. And then all of a sudden, boom, we throw it out to Tyler Conklin. It's 33 yards. And it was funny because I'm sitting on the couch next to Dawn, my wife, and I'm like, you know what? If it was me here, I wouldn't have Kirk run it this time. I'd throw it to the tight end, and boom, it happened. It was one of those minutes we all have.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to see Kirk do more of the quarterback sneak. I want to see him running more. I want to see him get warmed up and get into the game. Most of the time you see quarterbacks get into the game and because they're getting sacked or they're getting hit. I love to see him run and do those quarterback sneaks to get him a little juiced up, get him a little warmed up, get him a little competitive juices flowing in there. I think that's a great addition to the offensive playbook.
All right. Well, you know what time it is.
I do. It is time for the keys to the win. I don't know why I'm singing right now, but it's time for keys to the win.
After a win, it's always nice to sing.
Keys to the win. Number 1, no turnovers. We got to watch the turnovers with Detroit. They are -6 in turnovers for the year, so they are not a great turnover team. As we saw in the last game, a pick six or a pickoff or a fumble can really slide the motivation and the morale of the game. So we have to make sure that we are safe with the ball and make sure that we do not give them any opportunities at short fields or things that will make them think that they are in the game, which hopefully they will not.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a ton. And you know what? Let's throw out the little screens there. When you're 3rd and 11, don't screen the ball 2 yards out anyway. You know, I mean, we lost that pick six. That was a play he just shouldn't have done. I know there's an option out there to throw it, but you don't have to connect. He could have thrown it away.
Absolutely. And along those lines, the checkdowns as well. I'm not a fan of the check down. If you have a check down, have it at something that's at least close to the first down. You don't, if you're at 3rd and 15, you don't have a 4-yard check down. That's not the way it works.
Right.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Number 2, key to the win. Make them one-dimensional. This is something the Patriots do really well, and that almost made me vomit to say it because I hate the Patriots with a fiery hot passion. But it is something that they do well. I think if we take the pass away from the Detroit Lions, I'm much more afraid of Stafford and the pass than I am of their running game. Now, I think they should do this by getting upfield and being disruptive. So, getting upfield, you'll get tackles for loss. The sacks will take care of themselves. They do a lot of that Kerryon Johnson running off tackle bits. So I think if you get upfield, you be disruptive, it'll take out the run, and the sacks will come.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to do any more Kerryon Johnson running bit because he's out for the season with a knee injury. So they got to rely on like Zach Zinner, Theo Riddick, and LeGarrette Blount. Yeah. So I think them being one-dimensional to a degree, the lack of Kerryon Johnson on the field is going to help that.
Absolutely. Make it nice and easy. Number three, key to the win, stay ahead of the chains. This is something that I think we need to do in this game, and this is another morale thing. It's going to keep Detroit on their heels if we have 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, anything under 3rd 3rd and 5, I would consider to be staying ahead of the chains. So if we're winning on 1st and 2nd down, we have the playbook is far, far more open to get those, and the check downs then work. So you win on 1st and 2nd down, you stay ahead of the chains. That leaves you long, long drives and takes the wind out of their sails, therefore helping us achieve Nirvana win time.
We need this win, dude. You know, this is one of those games you can easily lose because you expect, hey, they're not doing very good. They got their little star RBs out. Stafford's been horrible. And you go in there a little too confident or something. So we definitely need the win.
And the thing about it, too, is that they're ranked 20th, at least 20th in just about everything. So it is easy to look at this team and say, you know what, this is going to be a cakewalk game. We just have to make sure that we don't let it become a trap game.
Yeah. They've changed their protection some since that first matchup where we had 10 sacks on him and 17 hits. I mean, he's going to be scared playing us. But Zimmer mentioned something about he's seen tape on the change and some of the protections and noted an effort by the Lions to get the ball out of Stafford's hands a little faster. To me, that spells maybe we got some turnovers coming on our side too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the other thing that I want to shout out, I want to do a quick shout out. Our 4 Pro Bowlers.
Oh, thank you. Can't say enough.
Adam Thielen, Danielle Hunter, Harrison Smith, and Barr. Anthony Barr is our 4th one.
That's right.
Way to go.
Right on, fellas, and right on, everybody. That's it for my drink. Actually, you know, it's funny because I feel sorry for people that think they can only drink a lot on the holidays. I mean, I drink for every show. Anyway. All right. So, Xmas tip as we leave. Don't leave your booze out with those milk and cookies, man. I did it last year and Santa wouldn't fucking go home. It was like 3 a.m. and he's all banging on my bedroom door, begging for more scotch. So this is Bakes. Happy holidays. I'm out. CB, sign us away.
Hey, Viking fans, take it easy. Have a fantastic holiday season. All love to you and yours, babies.